Most men try to impress women with gifts, looks, or charm, and that's exactly why they fade from memory. But Machiavelli understood something deeper, something most men never grasp. The objective isn't to be liked, it's to be unforgettable. Not by pleasing her, but by controlling what she experiences when you're gone. In this video, you'll discover 9 dark psychological strategies inspired by Machiavelli, designed to spark obsession without a single word of flattery. No chasing, no performing, no pleading for love. You'll learn how to become the man she can't explain, yet can't stop thinking about. Watch carefully, because once you see this, you'll never play the game like an ordinary man again. 1. The power of fear over love. Machiavelli once said something most men ignore, not because it's wrong, but because it's uncomfortable. It is much safer to be feared than loved. At first glance, it seems harsh, almost villainous. But observe closely, not what people say, but how they behave. Watch how women respond to different men, and that sentence suddenly makes sense. Love is warm, kind, comforting, the emotion we all crave, but it's also the one we quickly take for granted. When love is constant, always given, always soft, it loses weight. It becomes background noise. Safe, yes, but forgettable. Most men make the mistake of thinking love alone is enough. They give more, show more, open up more, expecting it to create value. But what happens? She stops feeling it because what is freely given without challenge holds no power. Now, consider fear, not the kind that hurts, yells, or controls. Weakness masquerading as strength. True fear is different. It's when a man's boundaries are so firm she senses them without a word. He doesn't need to argue. He doesn't need to explain. He doesn't chase. He simply moves away, and the silence communicates more than words ever could. He doesn't plead. He doesn't justify himself. He simply allows absence to speak, and absence lands harder than any emotional outburst ever could. The moment she realizes he is serious, everything changes. She understands he won't compromise his principles to keep her. She knows that if she disrespects him, she loses him. That's when attraction transforms into obsession. Not because he gave more, but because he could give nothing when his standards were crossed. This is fear. The fear of losing a man she cannot control, not fear of a man himself. Here's the truth. Most women aren't obsessed with being loved. They're obsessed with the man who doesn't need their love to feel complete. That's why women chase the man who walks away. That's why they respect the one who doesn't fold. That's why they replay the man in their mind who never begged. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't harsh. He was unshakable. He possessed what 99% of men never do, standards that weren't negotiable. So when Machiavelli said, "It is safer to be feared than loved," he wasn't dismissing love. He was emphasizing that respect comes first. Without fear of loss, love grows lazy, and desire is born not from what you give, but from what you're willing to withhold. She may love you. She may enjoy your company. But if she doesn't fear losing you, you are replaceable. But if she knows that you won't tolerate disrespect, she will fight for your attention. That's not cruelty. It's psychological gravity. It's dark attraction. That is the power of fear over love. 2. Master the image. Machiavelli also said, "It is not necessary to be good. It is necessary to appear good." That one sentence shatters the illusion most men live under. From childhood, we're taught, be kind, be loyal, be hardworking, be honest, and the world will reward you. But it doesn't. The world doesn't see your truth. It sees your presentation. You can possess loyalty, intelligence, values, and intent, but if your posture is weak, your tone uncertain, your energy anxious, no one, especially a woman, will feel your worth. Female attraction begins with perception, not facts. She doesn't ask, "What are you?" She asks, "What do I feel when I'm near you?" She scans energy, how you walk, how you speak, how you respond under pressure. Image becomes power. This isn't deception. It's framing. People don't react to truth. They react to what feels true. If you don't control your image, Others, her emotions, her past, her biases, will define you. In practice, when unsure, stand like a man who is certain. When angry, speak like a man controlling fire. When tempted to chase, do nothing. Let her come. In stillness lies power. In mystery, attraction. Reveal 80% of yourself. Keep the rest behind your eyes. Let her imagination fill the gaps. Humans chase what they cannot fully grasp. Obsession grows, not from oversharing, but from silence. Not from convincing, but from presence. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. Control your image, because perception governs all. 3B, the lion and the fox. Every woman tests you not to hurt you, but to see if you crumble. She shifts, withdraws, warms, then chills again. She says one thing, does another, watching for one outcome. Do you collapse or do you hold? Most men never notice. They apologize, explain, try to reason, and instantly lose. Machiavelli offered the blueprint. The lion represents strength. He doesn't chase or explain. He sets boundaries with presence. He commands without raising his voice. The fox is cunning. He observes, doesn't react, and strikes at the perfect moment. If you're only a lion, forceful, direct, she will provoke and destabilize you. If you're only a fox, clever, calm, she'll sense charm but not backbone and won't trust your leadership. Be both. Strength in stillness, intelligence in silence. Unpredictability hooks her deeper than words. To embody both, when she's emotional, be the fox. Observe, don't react. Let her tests crash against calm. When she crosses a line, be the lion. Not with rage, but with unwavering presence. Boundaries unyielding. She respects firmness, not shouting. She doesn't predict you because you don't play. Only act when it matters. Strength plus silence is unforgettable. 4. Divide her world. Machiavelli's law. Divide and conquer. Not empires alone, minds too. You don't dominate women through force. You plant subtle doubt. When she feels certain, she's safe, grounded. Your goal is not destruction, but disruption. A single phrase, lightly delivered, can fracture her certainty. That's what you think now. Small, harmless, but deep. Her mind begins spinning. What did he mean? Do I really believe that? Why does it linger? You've divided her certainty, without confrontation. Tension attracts. Certainty bores. One gentle tap, then silence, and she argues with herself. You enter her mind, not as a threat, but as mystery. That's Machiavellian seduction. Surgical, precise, subtle. 5. Reward in doses, punish all at once. Machiavelli advised, injuries must be inflicted all at once, but benefits given little by little. When someone crosses your line, act cleanly and coldly. Silence. Distance. Withdrawal. No drama. No guilt. Absence stings because nothing opposes it. It forces reflection. Rewards are given sparingly, earned, subtle. A look, a smile, a rare compliment. Then silence again. The unpredictability keeps her invested. Most men do the opposite. Reward too quickly, punish too often. They're emotional, unstable, predictable. You? Punish once, reward slowly. Pain fast is remembered. Pleasure slow is craved. You become a system, she can't stop running. 6. Watch, then speak. Men focus on bodies. Machiavellian men observe behavior. Notice how she speaks to the respected versus controlled. Track posture, gaze tone. No questions. No flattery. Presence alone suffices. When the moment opens, drop one calm, precise line. You laugh, but it doesn't feel real. Silence. Truth lands where flattery cannot. She replays it. She feels exposed, not admired. Presence, not force, dominates. You notice her mask, name it, and leave echoes she cannot erase. 7. Control through absence. Constant availability makes you forgettable. Vanish without warning, without drama. Create voids. The female mind must fill them. She rewinds conversations, glances, pauses, searches for what is missing. Silence generates space. You vanish, not in anger, but in strategic presence. Absence works only when presence had weight. Return calm, and she meets curiosity and awe, not anger. That is psychological gravity. 8. Be her turning point. Don't just be liked. Be the moment that shifts her world. Not the boyfriend, not the fling. Be the man who triggers transformation she never anticipated. Name what she hides. See her truth. Impact, not charm, creates lasting memory. Freud said, emotional memory shapes desire. Machiavelli knew, the man who controls the story controls the mind. Be that chapter she can't rewrite. Set standards. Challenge her beliefs. Walk away when crossed. Not bitter, not pleading. Gone but permanent in her mind. She may move on, but she never forgets the version of herself that arose because of you. Final words. These aren't lines or tricks. They are psychological structures that press deep switches in her mind, switches moving her from logic to craving. Most men chase laughter, attention, validation. You build presence. You pause, provoke thought, create silence, cultivate mystery. Not softness, precision. Most men will never grasp this. They're too addicted to approval. If something shifted inside while reading this, comment control below. One word. No explanation. You're not here for entertainment. You're here to take the wheel. Subscribe to Master Attraction, Power, and Emotional Dominance in Silence. The next steps won't show you how to win her. They'll show you how to become the man who doesn't need to.